You know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal!
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Does he have it? Yes, he does!
And that might be the knockout punch.
All right, greetings and salutations. Another episode of Fangs up here, and it's transfer portal time. I don't know how you feel about that. Like some of y'all, nah, some of y'all love it, some of you hate it. I just realized I didn't plug in one of the microphone pieces. There we go. Got to be remembering stuff, you know. Got my little swag, you know, swag championship parking pass up there. I gotta find the lanyard. Ain't gonna lie, that thing was cheap. Like, I think I'm gonna get it laminated, but yeah, they didn't put a lot of money into that at all. Um, but as always, y'all, another episode of Fangs up here, and today we're kind of looking at a little bit of this portal action going on. Like, I don't know about you, but the portal is where it's at, and it's proven to be something that's been very beneficial to FAMU. Like, it's something that we've really utilized in the past couple of years to really just build our team up. Like, and you kind of got some good things going there. Now, before we do all that, though, if you haven't checked out, look, the FAMU track team, they got a little something up there. Like, they just dropped a video to let y'all know they got an upcoming event going against Clemson. It's gonna be tomorrow, and I'm not gonna lie. Look, video's pretty hot. Like, I ain't gonna tell you nothing but the truth on this one. I dig it. Like, I think it's a hit. It's a nice little fun video. Big shout outs to Josh and the crew, man. I'm trying to see. I thought I had it pulled up, but I don't have it pulled up on this one. It's on the FQ FAMU Twitter one. So if you're not following the FQ FAMU Twitter page, man, come on, bro. What you doing at this point in the game? Like, we've been doing this for a little minute now. Look, I even see me up there. But before I shamelessly plug me again, y'all look, go check this out, man. It is up there for you to be able to see. And look, let me not show too much. We got something going on in the background. But look, shout out to the students. But I normally, give a little credit to Josh and the crew. But that the track team's not giving. I mean, the basketball team hadn't given me a little track, and I'm giving them some hope. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you about that. So, video looks solid though. Looks like some fun. And by the time left at more Kittles before they swap on over. So it's gonna be interesting though. See what goes on, what the happenings is gonna be over there. So hopefully we have a good showing though. Again, FAMU is gonna be at Clemson tomorrow. Hoping for a good showing there. So first meet of the season. So go check them out. Probably gonna be on like somebody's TV network. Hadn't seen it yet, but if not, YouTube. So go check them out. Also, look, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I gave up on them. I ain't gonna be no way but straight. Look, courtesy. This is from the FAMU website. Athletics, actually from the social media page, but you can see where, so make sure I give credit there, but you can see right there, look, 65-60, men's team gets the first one of the season, much needed, because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man, I kind of gave up hope. Like, I had what Jesse Jackson on that Keep Hope Alive, and I was like, hope is sleep, because so we're gonna see what this team looks like, what they're doing. Can they get it together? Like this is in this game, the bench helped out, brought in 30 points. So what you gonna need? You can't just run out your five and expect to win this game. Not gonna happen with FAMU basketball this year against most teams. Now the next game, we got Lemoyne O in college. They're on a nice little winning streak. But in the last game, they beat Albany State. Now, granted, Albany State got hot that night. But this is another game you need to win. Like the game against Presbyterian, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Upset. Straight up upset. Didn't expect that. Didn't see it coming. But to get the win, man, thankfully. Because I honestly, I didn't. I'd be lying. I thought we might not win until the beginning of the new year. And I'll be honest with y'all, when it comes to FAMU basketball, I'm so wishy-washy. Like, I'm a fan, I'm a diehard, but I protect my emotions so I don't get overly upset because when we lose, oh man, I'm over here like one of them fans. I'm like, man, we ain't gonna win a game. But then when we win a game, oh, NCAA tournament, baby, we're going to the first round. Like, I can be so irrational with FAMU basketball just because it's one of those sports where I like basketball. I know enough about basketball to be dangerous. Don't ask me to coach your kids because we're gonna lose every game. but I'm gonna be up there like run a screen for him. Give it to Will. Give it to Will again. He keeps scoring. Give it to like. But that other stuff, man. Look, yeah. So because of that, that's why I'm just so. I'm there, and it hits different. It's different for me, and part of it is just because for me, FAMU basketball, it strikes a different chord for me personally. FAMU football, that's family. That's like my mom, my dad, my cousins, my uncles, my aunts. That's family. FAMU basketball is more personal to me. It's more intimate. It's my dad and I don't ever remember going to FAMU basketball with my mom. But FAMU basketball, that's one of those things that my dad and I did. And that's something that an emotion and a feeling that it just taps into a little differently. And so, and my dad's still around. Thank God for that. Look, I'm a bothered old man tonight when I get done with the show. But it hits different, as the young people like to say. So that's why I have to kind of protect myself with FAMU basketball because I could become less of the person who's got, merch and all kind of FAMU stuff into a fanatic. And so with that, I got to be careful. But we won a game. We're about to win a swag. Look, I told y'all it was look. Now, if we don't win a swag, don't at me. That's me just providing a little bit of humor and just showing you, like, when it comes to FAMU basketball, I'm one of them. Now, the other thing, if you didn't check online, like Celebration Bowl press conference, yeah, the audio ain't the best, but it's there. And we get a nice little audio performance, or the proper word is audio recording. And the coaches play nice. Right? We got that. If you haven't heard it, it's actually on I retweeted it on the FQ FAMU Twitter page as well as Fangs Up, I believe. But it's on the FAMU Twitter page, and you can listen to it in its entirety. It's about a 30-minute listen. So it's just about as long as this podcast. When you're done with this, y'all know I don't hold you all night. It's going to be there. It's okay. I mean, it's pregame fodder. Like, you're not going to get anything where you're just like, oh, inside information. Howard likes to run the ball. Oh, I know something you don't know. Nah, FAMU's going to try. They're going to try to run the ball. Yeah, we're going to figure out how Musa looks. Nah, you ain't breaking no information. Everything you get in that is pure surface level. Like, ain't nothing about that. Just like breaking news. Jeremy Musa, SWAC quarterback of the season, is out. Nah, you're not going to get that. Musa's supposed to play. But, and Howard likes to run the ball. All right, there you go. So it's nothing breaking, but it is really cool to kind of get in there, get you to into the atmosphere, the mood, and just the thinking like, oh crap, next week we're gonna be getting ready for the SWAC championship. Let's go. So and they try to sell you in some other events as well. But otherwise, you're not gonna miss much if you didn't see it. Like, but if you want to watch it, again, good little 30-minute little watch. Celebration Bowl press conference. Definitely get some of the greats like, Dr. Cavill and some others in there. Now, the transfer portal. And if you didn't catch it, show is titled The Transfer Portal Opens. And if you haven't been watching, look, FAMU's been killing the transfer portal. But in this case, but first, let's talk about some of those guys who have entered their names in the transfer portal, not the ones that are been offered. And I'm only going to hit y'all with 2 of the offers because we're going to get some more. I promise you. By Saturday, Sunday, man, look, give a brother a whole day on this and I ain't got to travel. Boy, you in trouble. So first one, Szechuan Inge, wide receiver from Minnesota State. He put his name in the portal. And one of the things you're going to notice with a lot of these guys that have already put their names in the portal, not a lot of playing time. Or, it was something that it was, and it hadn't come to fruition yet. Kind of thing with here at Szechuan. I don't know if it was something where he just couldn't get in yet. Was he just not one of the local guys? Like, what kind of happened with that? Because we had times where just looking from the outside in, you could be like, why aren't we using more of our receivers? Like, do they not know the plays? Like, what was it? And so, and that's just me putting that out there, not saying that they don't know play. I didn't say that. I was saying what was going on. Why didn't they play? Like, I'm one of them. I get to be like, somebody's uncle. Like, hey, that's my boy over there. Why my boy didn't get the game? Like, I got a little bit of that in me. Like, when I started seeing guys dropping the ball, I'm like, why are you still playing? Why are you over that guy? Can we get that guy in the game? I think Stage One kind of fell into that, grouping there. He's one of those transfers. He did some pretty solid things at the lower level. Didn't get it done here. And again, how much is that him? Did he get in the doghouse? Like, what happened there? We may never know. And to his credit, though, I'm going to give each one of the transfer athletes their credit. Nobody said anything just bashing the university. Like, one kind of came close, was like, let me go to a place where I get a chance. But nobody was like, man, coach sucked. He did this. He did that. I didn't get to play. You didn't get that. It was just like, yo, appreciate the opportunity. And I will consistently continue to give this to Rattler Nation. One of the reasons you're showing that you are better than most other places is when these guys enter the portal, it's, hey, good on you. Glad you're a Rattler. Go enjoy. We're also, and kind of, South Florida kid, Winston Frazier, DB, he's a sophomore. He had a one rough game, but otherwise, and it wasn't like the whole game. It was like 1-2 plays. After that, we kind of stopped seeing him so much. Another guy, like, what kind of happened there? Because he comes in here, if I remember correctly, like fresh out of high school, and it never quite happened. And so you see that happening. My thing is, when it comes to the transfer portal, especially FAMU, in any place, actually, you're either going up or you're going down. And the question is, what happened with those is going to come up a lot. And where will they end up? Because we've seen where these guys enter the transfer portal and they're just like, oh, yeah, I'm going somewhere different, man, And then all of a sudden you're like, you sure? Because, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see where some of these guys land. I definitely want to see where Winston goes. Like, I think he's got potential. I'm not going to say NFL potential. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to bust the bubble either. But I will say, where does he end up? Like, that's going to be an interesting thing to see. And it's going to be really interesting going forward to see who else, if anyone, gets in the portal. Like, because these are also, well, one is probably your heaviest position, and the other one is your position that's probably going to take one of the heaviest hits. Like, again, Inge is a receiver. Frazier's the DB. So That's what we're seeing right now. The other one, Marcus Phillips, transfer to Virginia State. They get a lot of burn. Like he got some time, but it just never clicked. Again, that's one of those ones where was it the locker room, was the coach, was the player. You probably heard some of what I've heard, which look, I ain't snitching, but I've been told that it just never meshed. So between them, for what reason, I don't know. But again, that's what I've been told. And hey, that happens. Like every place ain't for everybody. And I think he could have done well here? Yeah, because he did pretty solid at Virginia State. He was a pretty good receiver, but he's leaving here. Hopefully, he got the FAMU degree, but he's also going to another place where he might get a shot somewhere. Like he's a pretty solid receiver, not huge, but still solid. So that's going to be kind of interesting to see. Like, how does FAMU flip this receiver room? The other position, and we're gonna get to this at the end, is the tight end room. Like, you ain't got no transfers, but you got to bring in some bodies. Last one, Roddy Williams, another DB. Sophomore, you're losing. So you're seeing we're losing receivers, we're losing DBs. What happens there? Like, why aren't these guys getting in? And how much of this is playing time? How much of this is, there may be somebody in front of them they can't get past. Like we've seen for a few years straight, FAMU secondaries lost players either to the transfer portal or just to flat out quit because that's one of our deepest positions. And you're continuously seeing it's hard to get on the field as a DB at FAMU. Like we can cut this any way but straight. But if we cut it straight, you're going to start noticing that FAMU secondary is tough. Like, do they give up big plays occasionally? Absolutely. But again, your favorite capo on one side, I'm just saying, look, you over there looking at BJ Bowler and then Kamani King, and you start looking at FAMU secondary like it's a Division I caliber secondary. Like, okay, that's poorly worded. That's an FBS caliber secondary. There we go. Because technically FAMU is Division I football program. So you start to see like some of the attrition of that coming in. But then the other question is, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, what's the safeties looking like? Because could we get another Marquise Bell situation? Like, and I guess Marquise Bell isn't the right one to say. But if you consider NFL wise, Marquise Bell moves from safety to linebacker, which is something I definitely pointed out. That hey, that could be a potential thing. Like, do we get that again? But do we get that again before some of these guys transfer? Like, hey, you thought about moving positions? What about if you're safety? Can you pick up some weight? We see how the NFL is kind of transitioning to a smaller, lighter, more agile linebacker. Do you take advantage of that trend and put the players in place? Or do you prepare for the next trend of, okay, you're making smaller linebackers or you're putting smaller linebackers in position. I'm going to put bigger running backs back there. Like, it's the chess game of football because let's be honest, FAMU's running backs are as big, if not bigger, than some of the linebackers. Like Yant, Major. I don't want to hit either one of them if I'm playing. But at the same point, I think Yant's bigger than Major, like, which is a crazy thought. But you're starting to see, like, and some of what you're bringing in, like, you're bringing in some grown behind men. That this is crazy. Now, the other thing, man, look, before we get into who was offered, look, Willie about to earn this bonus. Willie standing on business all year. Championship subdivision, Region 3, Coach of the Year is Willie Simmons. And to give credit to where credit is due, the not FCS, excuse me, Division 2 Coach of the Year, Chennis Berry. So saw two HBCU coaches walk away with the Coach of the Year. Very often, we leave here talking about how, like, man, we got snubbed. This is not one of those times. If you're an HBCU fan, look, there we go. Look, get up, Tam. Look, Round of applause. Willie is he has Willie at times, but he's walking away with some trophies. Like, and look, did y'all see what Danny Cannell posted up there? I saw what penalty talk posted up there. It's like, man, shut up. But look, to get that check, coach, you're gonna have to, and you're gonna get some bonuses. He's owed some money. Like, definitely that. Now, who offered? We ain't gonna go too deep in there because look, it's a Thursday night. I know y'all gotta cuddle up, get your boo, watch a movie or something. But we're gonna talk about two local products. One semi-local, but the other, he's absolutely positively local. First one is, look, I'll even make it big for the people in the back. There we go. CJ Campbell, he's a running back. He's currently at Florida State University, and I'm gonna say semi-local. The reason I say semi-local is he's from Bay County. If you're not familiar, you're not from the Panhandle, it's okay, I forgive you. It's Panama City. So Panama City Beach, Lynn Haven, all that area, that's Bay County. I believe he went to Bay High School. So running back at Florida State. I ain't gonna lie, CJ had a game or two kind of late in the season where he looked all right, but not a lot of burn. And he's got some decent size though. Like, you're talking about a 196-pound, almost 200-pound running back, 5'9". Look, nice size. Shout outs to HBCU Digital for the graphics, at least for the background. The rest of that though, that's why they be so slow sometimes. Look, I'm like Kevin Gates. I got 6 jobs, but I get tired. But yeah, man, this look a potential answer to really losing a guy like Terrell Jennings. I mean, is he smaller than Jennings, who is above? Absolutely. But could he be that guy to add that extra bit of oomph in the backfield? Positively. Like, it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see what happens and how FAMU continues to foster this relationship. And within fostering this relationship, can FAMU and can FAMUans develop an NIL program? Like, that's going to be the next thing that is going to be the separating piece between the HBCUs. Which HBCU can be the first to get serious about having NIL, and not just having an NIL, but having an organized NIL? Like, we've seen what a successful NIL and unsuccessful NIL looks like in the state of Florida. I'll give you a perfect example. Look at Florida State. The NILs, they got 2 of them. One is hella organized. The other is solid. And you look at UF, man, they literally lost a recruit because of the NIL. So you kind of want to see which HBCU can get into the NIL atmosphere first and get into really like executing it. Because if one of the HBCUs can get in there and truly establish that we have a functioning NIL that's getting these kids money, all of a sudden, man, it becomes a haves and have-nots, and becomes a Jimmy's and Joe's thing, and it becomes something where if your school is able to throw a little kick into it, a little something in the kitty, especially if you're guaranteeing celebration bowls and conference championships, and that's an extra $2 to $3 million a year. It's just something to think about. Like, 3 years of FAMU getting celebration bowl money, that would be $3 million. I'm not saying that's gonna happen. I'm just throwing that as a hypothetical. I didn't act like LeBron and say not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I didn't do that to you. What I said is if not we would, and leave you high and dry. I ain't salty. I'm a Miami Heat fan though. Now the other one, look, he a local kid, and he went to school at 3838 Trojan Trail. Sage Ennis is tight end for Clemson. Now, I've been told he ain't coming to FAMU, but that don't mean that he didn't get offered. He is a tight end at Clemson. We also supposedly they were trying to offer that tight end from UNC Morales. I don't know if that happened or not, but We can always hope. But yeah, Sage, he's pretty solid. I mean, more of a pass catching tight end from what I've seen. Willing blocker. Is he the greatest? Meh. Is he solid? Yeah. Could he get the job done? Absolutely. And within that tight end room, honestly, with what you ask your tight ends to do at FAMU, I think he fits perfectly. Like that's just one of those things where you can kind of keep going, keep giving, and keep building. Like we've definitely seen where this is a team that builds from without. Like let's kind of be honest. When we're talking about the transfer portal and what it has been to FAMU, look, FAMU's ahead of the curve. Like the portal's open, but FAMU's been eating off transfers and whatnot for decades at this point. I mean, let's go back to the Billy Joe era. The best of the Billy Joe era is not homegrown talent. Those are transfers. Like, look at those quarterbacks. I mean, Sider, uh, shoot, Doherty, like all these guys. That's Mad Bomber, Pat Bonner. These are transfers. Like, FAMU's at its best when we're bringing players in. Like, FAMU's at its worst when we're just saying, oh, no, we're going to put a wall around the Tallahassee and we're going to get what we can get. Nah, baby. Get me some transfers. And some of those kids are local products that are coming back. But like when you look at it, FAMU's at its best when you're getting transfers. You abuse the hell out of the relationship we have with South Florida, and you dig into Central Florida. Like you have to hit those three major parts. Don't forget Duval. Look, FAMU hits all the major cities in the state. You can't mess with us. Like, and bring in some transfers. It's over. It's a wrap. Like the transfer portal is really tied to the modern greatness of FAMU. Now, Willie Hubbard, Lord, thinking Willie Simmons and Rudy Hubbard. I told y'all I'm getting a little sleepy today, but Rudy Hubbard, we can't even talk about that championship there. But kind of, the quarterback is from Central Florida. Just saying. But when you start to look, modern FAMU football is at its best when we take advantage of the transfer portal or the ability for players to transfer. Again, part of what we lost out on when we moved up was Willie Simmons as a quarterback. Like the kid that was coming back home, all that stuff. We messed it up. But now, look, the transfer portal has been good to FAMU. Just look at the quarterback situation. You may not love Musa, but let me. Musa hadn't thrown a pick in how many weeks? Just saying. Like Musa been solid. Look at the run game. Like, yeah, I mean, Jennings is, yeah, he's him. But Yant, Dean, Willoyd. I'm just saying, look at the receiving room. Your first 100-yard receiver, Riley, local kid, transfer. Like, look at the tight ends. You go 1-2 tight ends, whoever you want. One is from God, but the other transfer from Florida State. Offensive line. You go down the line. You got a couple home built kids, but a lot of that transfers. Like, really, the only place where defensive line, maybe, where it's not like transfer crazy. Like, I think Dunn actually has been there the whole time. General Hunt's been there the whole time. But linebacker, Isaiah Major, transfer. Indy, Independence Community College. Morgan, transfer. Multiple schools. Texas A&M, Houston, DBs, Bowler, transfer from Mercer. Like, you start looking at FAMU's team and FAMU's starters, the transfer portal is how it's getting done. And this is something that you're going to have to continue to utilize in order to be successful. And you're really going to have to continue to build your team in that model of we take advantage of the transfer portal, we build the talent we have, and we also put it to good use. And it's going to be interesting to see because that's going to have to be part of your recruiting story to me. Like, part of the recruiting pitch is, yes, I sell you Marquise Bell. I also sell you that Marquise Bell was a transfer. But I'm gonna say you Isaiah Land and Xavier too, homegrown talents. Like, hey, Xavier walks on. We give Isaiah Land a chance when nobody else did. Like, and then you come back, you talk about, oh yeah, Marquise Bell, goes here, bounces back, comes to FAMU. You get that. And I think that's part of the story. And as we kind of look at what the transfer portal is and has been to FAMU, I think part of the recruiting strategy becomes having those transfer athletes that have transcended come back. Because Marquise Bell's there. Like, and it's not something to take for granted, but that brother comes back for stuff. Isaiah Lamb, he came back. Xavier, he came back. All those guys who are in the NFL came back on campus and have shown that genuine love, but also show the Pat Bonners. See if we can get somebody like Jaywan Sider on campus. Like, I know he's busy with Penn State. He's definitely recruiting with them. Brothers like that brother's up for some jobs. Like, quietly, and I'm gonna say this actually loudly. If Willie Simmons ever leaves, Jaywan Sider needs to be one of the first people you call. Like, and with the full understanding that if I'm AD Sykes, if Willie leaves, and I'm not trying to wish Willie gone, I'm just saying you always got to prepare, because as Tam pointed out, get that cash. Get that cash, coach. At a certain point, he's going to want a little bump in pay. Like, if we can do something where we can offer Sider that head coaching opportunity that has eluded him and say, hey, man, look, we got you on a 3-year idea where you take this team, you keep it going, you keep it rolling. In 3 years, you leave FAMU to go to somewhere else. You tell us who you got in mind. That's what I got. Because in this era of the transfer portal and all these things, we're also seeing how, a brother like that hadn't got a head coaching offer, hadn't got I don't think he's an OC. Let me look. Y'all know I'm petty. And if you're not familiar, Jaywan Sider's like at Penn State. So I'm a nerd like that. But he's been there for a little minute too. And we're saying, like, this brother hadn't even got a look yet. Like, houseway. Like, this brother's noted as one of the better recruiters and better coaches out there. Assistant head coach, co-offensive coordinator, running backs. That's too many titles. That dude, look, we can't slide him somebody's HBCU, to at least, extend the offer. Now, if you're not paying as much as them, whatever. But I'm just saying, it's a step in the door, step in the right direction for a lot of schools. Like, hey, have some success here, sell them the pipe dream of prime. Say, hey, man, you do it down here. And honestly, I think a better example is what Alcorn did. And the coach they had that went from Alcorn to, I believe, Southern Miss. And like, hey, he had success there. Then he parlayed that into Southern Miss. Now, what he did at Southern Miss, I don't know. But it's just some of the things you got to, start looking at. Because as FAMU continues to grow and become a better brand, this is something where this is going to be a continued question we're going to get as long as Willie's here and as long as Willie having success. You're going to start getting that question of, one, how is he going to do it? But then you're going to start getting teams who try to replicate it. And it's going to be interesting to see how long before Chennis Berry flips South Carolina State. If you haven't heard, supposedly he's taking that job, which that's not news to anybody. It was like, oh, South Carolina State is Southern. And it's like, I take South Carolina State. Like, it's not that it's a better job either. It's just, you're going to let me build this. I want to go someplace I can build. I think that's what he did. And I think FAMU is another one of the places where we're a fickle fan base. You don't win, we're not there. We'll leave at halftime. But if you're winning, man, we're going to talk bad about you when you make some funky calls. But we're going to have you back. And I think that's something Willie has found, that, Rattler Nation is close to home and they got my back. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be fun, man. Look, we're going to look and see some more. What we got going here with this other basketball team? Because the boys just won. And yes, I said boys basketball. I'm that old. But what the ladies got? Granted, they have one win, but they hadn't looked bad. Like they lost to Sam Houston, 3-point loss. Yeah, that game, the Houston wasn't pretty. But tomorrow they have University of South Alabama. It's a home game before they get a few weeks off, finals weekend off. Then go to the University of Detroit Mercy, the University of Michigan. Be some medals in there, man. Like, don't get mad at it. Just let it happen. But we've seen some growth. Consider what that team was last year to what it is this year. I'm happy for it. I'm okay with it. So we're gonna look at that. Let's kind of see what those results are, and we're gonna look at some more of these recruits. Look who's been offered, and then as that early signing day approaches, does FAMU get any signings? Last year we came away with some, but I don't know if they got the quite like Oral Grade, all those guys. I don't think Oral got as much time as he could have. Now that boy from Jacksonville, that boy good. Have mercy. That African American can play. And he's going to be an X factor. That's going to be interesting going forward. And we're going to see what it looks like. We're going to talk some more about that. And then, look, next week, you already know, we're going to start talking Celebration Bowl. We're going to move the show next Thursday, though. Next Thursday, we're going to do the show. We're going to do a Fangs Up Friday because I'm traveling. Your man's look, I ain't going to even lie to you. I'm about to get my tickets in a minute to fly up there. So don't steal my tickets. But I was supposed to get them last night, but the brother got tired. So we're gonna knock that out. We'll be up there either Thursday or Friday, but we're gonna move the show to Friday just because I'll be traveling. And look, we ain't trying to have y'all up 1 a.m. to watch Fangs Up. So we will definitely have y'all Fangs Up Friday. That Friday night. Get y'all ready. Get y'all ready for the Celebration Bowl, man. It's gonna be exciting. Celebration. Charlie Murphy. But HBC Digital Network, this is home to Herb Sue and the Black Techies. Also, home to the Fangs Up podcast. Look, we're gonna see y'all Sunday, 7:00. Don't forget next week's Thursday show. It's gonna be moved to Friday because I'm going to Atlanta like y'all. Like, welcome to Atlanta. What a play is played. Look, I'm with y'all all day. So we're gonna be rolling and having some fun with that. And y'all already know, as always, it's gonna be
Yeah, baby, you know what time it is. Now let's get it started.
Are you kidding me? Unreal.
While our HBCUs are mostly known for academic rigor, community, they also know how to turn up.
Dorsey, how